Have you ever felt lost? Have you ever felt alone? Like the ground had disappeared beneath your feet? Like everything you loved had been ripped away from you? That's how Job felt. Imagine in an instant, losing everything. Your wealth, your health, your family. This is where the story of Job begins. A story that speaks directly to the heart of human suffering and the enduring power of faith. Job's story isn't just an ancient tale. It's a timeless mirror reflecting our own struggles with pain, doubt, and the search for meaning in a world that often seems random and cruel. It's about holding on to hope when it seems lost, about clinging to faith when the storms of life rage around us. Job's journey reminds us that even in the depths of our despair, we are not alone. There is a God who sees, a God who hears, and a God who cares. This is the story of Job, a testament to the unwavering spirit of faith. Subscribe and hit the notification bell now so you don't miss any Bible content that will inspire you. Job was a good man. He was a righteous man. He was a man who loved God with all his heart and obeyed his commandments. He was blessed with wealth, a loving family, and a good name. He was, without a doubt, a blessed man. Job lived a life of gratitude, always recognizing God's goodness and mercy. He was known for his integrity, his generosity, and his compassion for the poor and needy. He was a shining example of what it meant to live a life pleasing to God. Little did Job know that his faith was about to be tested, stretched, and proven in ways he could never have imagined. A storm was brewing, a cosmic challenge that would shake him to his core and make him question everything he held dear. Unbeknownst to Job, a conversation was taking place in the heavenly realms, a conversation that would have profound implications for his life. Satan, the accuser, stood before God, questioning Job's motives and challenging the very foundation of his faith. Satan insinuated that Job's faithfulness was merely a product of his comfortable life, his blessings, and his prosperity. He argued that if Job lost everything, he would surely curse God. God, confident in Job's unwavering faith, allowed Satan to test him. He set boundaries, forbidding Satan from taking Job's life, but allowing him to remove everything else. The stage was set for a cosmic battle between good and evil, faith and doubt, despair and hope. The silence of God, wrestling with doubt and despair. Tragedy struck swiftly and relentlessly. Job's wealth vanished, his livestock died, and his children were taken from him in a single devastating blow. His world, once filled with joy and abundance, was now shrouded in sorrow and despair. Even in the midst of unimaginable suffering, Job did not curse God. He tore his clothes in mourning, shaved his head as a sign of grief, and fell to the ground in worship, saying, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." As Job wrestled with the magnitude of his loss, he was visited by his friends. They came with the intention of comforting him, but their words, instead of offering comfort, only deepened his pain. They accused him of hidden sin, suggesting that his suffering was a punishment from God. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell now, so you don't miss any fantastic stories from the Bible. A glimpse of the divine. God's voice thunders. Job, overcome with grief and confused by his friends' accusations, cried out to God. He questioned the injustice of his suffering, the silence of his Creator, and the apparent randomness of his fate. He longed for an answer, a reason, a glimpse of understanding amidst his pain. Then, from the midst of a whirlwind, God spoke. His voice, powerful and awe-inspiring, shook the very foundations of the earth. He questioned Job's understanding, challenged his limited perspective, and reminded him of his infinite power and wisdom. God, in a series of rhetorical questions, revealed the vastness of his creation, the complexities of his design, and the incomprehensibility of his ways. He reminded Job that he was God and Job was not. He was the creator and Job the creature. Subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any Bible content. Restoration and reward, the faithfulness of God. Job, humbled and awed by God's presence, repented of his questioning. He acknowledged his limited understanding and placed his trust in the one who holds the universe in his hands. He realized that even in his suffering, even in his confusion, God had never abandoned him. God, pleased with Job's unwavering faith, restored his fortune. He blessed him with twice as much as he had before, gave him a new family, and granted him a long life. Job's later years were filled with more abundance and joy than he could have ever imagined. The story of Job is a testament to God's faithfulness. Even when we don't understand, even when we question, even when we doubt, God remains faithful. He sees our pain, He hears our cries, and He is with us every step of the way. Timeless lessons. Finding hope in the midst of suffering. The story of Job is more than just an ancient tale. It's a timeless message of hope and resilience. It reminds us that suffering is a part of life, but it doesn't have to define us. We can choose to hold on to our faith even when it's hard, even when we don't understand. Job's journey teaches us that it's okay to question, to wrestle with doubt, to cry out to God in our pain. He can handle our questions, our doubts, and our fears. In fact, He welcomes them. He wants us to come to Him just as we are, with all our brokenness and pain. The story of Job is an invitation to trust, to surrender, to believe that even in the darkest moments, God is working all things for our good. It's a reminder that our faith is not in vain, that our suffering is not meaningless, and that our God is a God of restoration and redemption. Secret Parables. Subscribe now.